It is time to unbox the Freckled Fawn Kit for the month of September. Be inspired to make a quick and easy project based on a simple word label. I have a quick tip on how to expand room for your titles, and then I also take a pivot when my trimmer goes wrong. Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty, where I create with paper and photos in artful ways. So here's my kit for September, and if you watched last month's unboxing, you'll know that I was missing an item, and I thought, well, maybe it would get shipped later because the invoice said that it was a partially fulfilled kit, but I never got anything, I never heard anything, and this month I am also missing an item, and I sent them a message 4 or 5 days ago, and I still haven't heard back from them. And this happened to me back in April as well. And so I've got a lot of feelings about this, and they're not good feelings. I will walk you through this unboxing and show you the project that I've got going on. And if there's some kind of update to them getting back to me in the future, I will let you all know. But right now, I'm frustrated. All right, as you can see, I am unboxing my kit, and I subscribe to the 6x8 kit. If you're new here and you don't know, they do offer full 12x12 kits, but I prefer this size because it saves on cost, especially on the cost of shipping, and so that's why I subscribe to this kit. But the two kits are similar except for the size of the paper. And here is the paper. You can see that we've already gone through. You get 2 sets of alphabets. You get 2 sets of cardstock stickers, you get puffy stickers, you get chipboard labels, you get some kind of washi product, and some kind of wood product. So that is what generally is in a kit. The 12x12 kit might have a fewer of some of these embellishments, but that's the general idea. And you can mix and match, subscribe to parts and pieces that you want and not to other pieces. So you could just get embellishments or just get alphas, whatever it is you want. And that is what I liked about Freckled Fawn. However, I also subscribed to an add-on ephemera die cut pack. I did not get that last month, and I did not get it this month. Last month, I didn't even see a die kit offered, and this month I see it, and it's sold out. So I have no idea what's going on, and I'm kind of frustrated. So I'm going to move on for now, and I'm going to make a really quick project, both because I have a time crunch and because I was feeling kind of annoyed at this point that things were missing again. And now that I'm doing the voiceover, I'm even more annoyed that I messaged them and they haven't said anything back. And back in April when I was missing a product, I did message them and they never got back to me. And I just let it go because sometimes things happen, and I wasn't going to ding them for that. But this is kind of the third time. And at this point, I think there's something going on rather than just, something got lost in the shuffle. So I will try one more time and let you know. At any rate, I will stop talking about that and I will talk about this project. So I was inspired by a word label, and I'll tell you what that is when we get to that part, to just create a mostly journaling page. So this is going to be a really quick, throw some pretty papers down, size them to fit well design-wise, and then leave my space for lots of thoughts for this month. And as you can see, I pulled out 8.5 by 11 background. I put 2 pieces of paper down on the base, and here I am sizing and layering up these extra pieces that are going to encompass my journaling. So I'm not going to make you watch all of the sizing. I am gutting these papers that are going to be in these bigger layers so that I will have that paper to play with somewhere else later on. But we will just skip ahead to me getting all of this stuck together. All right, with that final bit of glue in place, I will go ahead and get all of that adhered down. And as you can see, I did gut those couple of layers that are right behind where I'm going to put the journaling. I am using some angles to offset some things here and there to give the layout a little bit more design interest. And I thought I had those background pieces in place already, but apparently not, so I will get those down as well. And this was the front and back, as you can see there, of the same sheet of paper. I like that you get 2 of each print so that you can use the front and you can use the back. If I had been a little more thoughtful, I could have gutted those pieces of paper as well. or, trim down the parts that were going to be covered up at any rate, but I didn't think about it. Now here is where another frustration happened. My paper trimmer, I don't know if it's just dull or if the thickness of this cardstock is too much for my trimmer to cut through 2 layers, but every time I tried trimming off those excess edges, it just chewed up the side of my paper. And I said, forget it. If I keep trying to trim it, I'm not going to have an 8.5-inch wide piece of paper anymore, which I could work around. But like I said, I was out of patience at this point. So I kind of ripped down that section that was roughed up, or I left that section roughed up, and I ripped down another section to balance it out. And then I'm going to use the edge of my scissors to rough up and rip down other sections so that I bring balance back to the design and turn a frustrating accident into an opportunity to embellish, as the saying goes. So that is what I went with here. And with those torn out sections, I'm kind of going to do the classic fill in the blank with some extra pattern paper. I will glue just the edge of that base down, and that way I can cut around the pattern paper once I've got it in a place that I like. I thought these little flowers would work better peeking through that. I will ruffle up that edge so you can see them a little bit better. And then I'm going to trim off all of that extra paper. And because I only glued in a little spot, I can work my scissors in there and get around the edges. So I did that both at the top right and the bottom left, and then I'm ready to get the rest of this in place. Here I used liquid glue instead of my trusty tape runner because I wasn't quite sure how I wanted it to sit, and I felt like that would give me some wiggle room if I had another oops, which didn't happen, so it turned out fine. And then I'm pulling out just a few embellishments to work on the rest of this layout. I like this frame with no phrase on it because it's going to give me space to add that phrase that I did like, which reads, "These are my feelings." So I'm going to use that frame to highlight some of the florals on that base sheet of paper. I'm going to use it to house my little phrase there. I'm going to embellish a couple of other things, and then you'll see my little frame gets one more embellishment as I work on my title. So this is just a super quick tip that I use all the time. I put this label down thinking my title would fit on there, and if I had thought it through ahead of time, I would have cut this piece down just a little bit so that I could work better with the resources that I have. At any rate, you'll see a little bit more what I mean as we move on. So I put my small title on there, and then I've got my bigger title going on for a 2-font title. And this is where I realize I need more room. Now, like I said, if I had started with this process, I would have trimmed down that first sticker just with that little smidgen cut off so that when I add the second sticker, I can trim it like in half, say, and then keep the whole extra half. But instead, I'm going to have to end up covering up part of the sticker that was already down because I couldn't peel it back up again. It was too stuck. So we'll see in just a moment how the finished title came out. And here's me moving those final letters back in place. And luckily, I eyeballed it well enough that my title fit just right across that new length of sticker. So if you have multiples of stickers, or sometimes I've even been known to mix and match prints and patterns and colors to do this title extension technique. And it's one that I like and use on a regular basis. All right, I am finishing off my embellishment cluster down there with that extra piece of cutoff from the label stickers to extend my title. I give it another little push down there because it wasn't quite stuck all the way, and then that's in place. And there's not too much more I'm going to do to this. I do add a few heart embellishments around here and there, and then you'll see me in a moment pull out my ruler. I kind of divide up that pretty floral pattern paper in half so that I can have 2 columns to journal in, and that way I'm not trying to keep my lines freehand straight all the way across that wide width of the page, and I like to do this as well with my journalings. And the last thing I do is start with my thoughts for this month, and the month isn't over yet, so I will leave room to add some more thoughts as we go. And that brings us to the end of this project. I will leave you here with a few close-ups. I thank you so much for watching, and if you have any experience with Freckled Fawn, let me know. Drop me a comment, because I'd like to know if I'm missing something or if there's just a problem happening, because I'm feeling confused and, as I've already said, a little frustrated. At any rate, that ends this video. I will be back on Saturday with another crafty video for you for September, and that will wrap up my month. So until I see you next time, I hope you have an artful day.